The third social movement is feminist movement. Indian women played an important or a prominent role in Indian society since times immemorial or since ancient time. They enjoyed distinct position in Indian family. She was considered or the woman was considered as an equal partner of life. Less than 1% of women enjoys the facilities in the field of education, freedom, equality, property right and social status. The remaining means how much will be there? Remaining 99% are deprived of above these facilities, including education, freedom, equality, property rights, and social status. Her activities or the activities of the woman are restricted or limited to homemaking and allied work, which is unproductive. In India, during the Renaissance period, so Renaissance period, you all know that. So in India during Renaissance time, Sri Raja Ram Mohan Rai tried to eradicate or remove the social evils like inequalities. Atrocities means cruel acts, mental agony or mental pressure. Trauma means physical injury, physical harassment, exploitation, child marriage, polyandry, sati system, etc. Later on, this movement, that means feminist movement, led by Ishwar Chandra Vidyasagar of Bengal, resulted in the framing of law regarding widow remarriage in 1856. So this is an important question. Next, the contribution of Kudumal Ranga Rao, Chandravarkar of Karnataka, Veerashalingam Pantulu of Andhra Pradesh, Jyotiba Phule and Savitri Phule, R.G. Bhandarkar, D.K. Karve of Maharashtra. So this D.K. Karve married a widow woman and established Hindu Widows' Home in Pune in 1899. Savitri Ba Phule is the wife of Jyotiba Phule, was the first teacher who had given education to suppressed women before independence, was remarkable contribution. According to John J. Massinis, feminist movement is an argument for social inequality of men and women as against the patriarchism and sexualism. Patriarchism means men hold power and women are largely excluded. And according to Collins Dictionary, feminist movement in totality is against the global exploitation of women and the subordination or inferiority of women to men. So let's see what are the causes of feminist movement. Number 1, inequality. It is evident that Indian society is male dominated and preferences is given to the male members, though men and women are born equally, and the constitution also upheld the equality between the two. Women are deprived of education, employment, decision making and property rights because of male domination. This has enraged and led to agitation. Number 2, the evils of dowry. The evils of dowry have drawn parents to become a debtor, the girls to brothels. Brothels means prostitute. An uneven ratio through female foeticide. Foeticide means female abortion. And next comes infanticide. Infanticide means a crime of mother killing a child within a year. As a result of this uneven ratio of men and women in society, which leads to rape and other heinous or cruel crimes. Number 3, denial of human rights. The atrocities on women have denied the human rights and other rights like right to life, liberty, freedom of expression and others. Their existence and survival depends upon the mercy of the male members. Decision making is the birthright of men in matters of education, marriage, property rights and family issues. Number 4, social strata based on gender. Men have not spared any of the fields including cultural, social, religious, political and exercise their monopoly and continue their atrocities or cruelties on women. They are treated as slaves, so these women are treated as slaves and bonded laborers. This has made the women to organize themselves and start agitation. Number 5, sexual abuse and molestation. So this molestation means sexually abusing of a person, especially women and child. So here, irrespective of the age, time and place, these heinous or horrific crimes are taking place. due to sexual abuse or molestation. Those who suffer, they have to regain the rights to decide about the children or to get aborted without the interference of husbands or politicians through governmental policies. So these women are uniting together and fighting for justice. Number 6. Domestic violence. Women shoulder the entire household responsibilities like rearing and caring of children, domestic work, and related tasks. The cohabitant means the family living together and having sexual relations. So the cohabitant of the family become the victims of domestic violence because of irresponsible, illiterate, and drunkard husbands who lack discretion. This may take the form of physical, mental, sexual harassment, and finally, it may take women's life as a toll or disaster. To avoid such violence, women organizations are established. Next comes political implications of feminist movement. So, the feminist movement tries to overcome women exploitation and atrocities or cruelties. Added to this, Government of India has taken measures for the empowerment of women by providing constitutional facilities. So it includes number 1, constitutional opportunities. Article 14, 15, 15 of 3, 16, 34 of A, 39 of B and 42 provides for the removal of inequality and discrimination based on gender. Number 2, legislative measures. So it includes rape, IPC, Indian Penal Code. So this IPC is an official criminal code of India. So rape, IPC section 376. Next comes kidnapping and using women for illegal purposes. That is IPC section 363 to 373. Next comes torture for dowry, IPC section 498 of A. Other than that, special laws. Family Court Act 1954, Special Marriage Act 1954, Hindu Marriage Act 1955, the Dowry Prohibition Act of 1961, Protection of Women Against Domestic Violence Act of 2005, Abolition of Child Marriage Act of 2006. So if the question comes, write any 2 acts related to women's protection, so you need to write these all acts. Next comes number 3, special privileges for women. National Women Commission was established in 1992 with a view to analyze the legal programs and to go into the details of constitutional provisions and make necessary recommendations to government for further improvements in that regard. Number 4, reservation in local bodies. Through 73rd and 74th Constitutional Amendment or changes, 33% of seats are reserved for women in local self-government. Number 5, National Action Plan for Girl Child to provide safe, bright and strong future for girls. This program was implemented. Number 6, National Policy on the Women Empowerment. Department of Women and Child Welfare under the Secretariat of Human Resource Development framed a national policy for the empowerment of women. Some of the programs and plans termed by Government of India for women are 1. Employment Assurance Scheme in 1993. Number 2. National Social Assistance Program in 1995. 3. Swarna Jayanti Shahari Rozgar Yojana 1997. 4. Jawahar Gram Samruddhi Yojana 1999. 5. Swarna Jayanti Gram Swaraj Yojana 1999. 6. Indira Awas Yojana in 1999. Other than that, the government of Karnataka has also empowered women through the following measures. It includes number 1, Udyogini Yojana, 2, Mahila Tara Beti Yojana, 3, Rehabilitation Program of Devdasis, 4, Step Yojana, that is Support Training and Employment Program for Women, 5, Sri Shakti Yojana, 6, Shantwana Yojana, 7, Amrita Yojana, 8, Bhagya Lakshmi Yojana. So these are all about the feminist movement.